Alright, guess who I heard from again? Santander, the people who my insurance company couldn't pay off the whole truck. Alright. Now they're trying to offer me a deal, right? But I ain't even got it. They want $1,759.39, right? But they're saying if I pay $175.94, right, they'll settle the account in full if I act now. Well, again, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, right? Disability money to disability money, right? And see, why am I complaining? Well, I don't have enough, right, to even save up for the future, right? If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're disabled, you can't even hire no one to help you, right? You keep complaining about the house. Well, so do I. Not want my house to look this way, but I can't help it. You have no sympathy for me, but you would have sympathy for the devil before you would have sympathy for me, and I'm just a man like you, right? Then you're messed up in the head. You're kind of homicidal maniac, right? If I'm living with a homicidal maniac, like EMFM King could have become, because his dumbass self electrocuted himself, but the only one he can blame is me, because I look like his friend with brown hair and brown eyes. We look similar, and if he did, he's gun decking, right? Or skating through the Navy, meaning you're supposed to use certain stuff to do the job, and you're supposed to basically do it by yourself to a point, right? Yeah. Well, see, they weren't giving me all the information I needed to even do that, right? One, they just gave me the instruction card and not even showed me what piece of equipment I was supposed to work on in the area, right? Like I'm supposed to know through osmosis or something, right? Well, no man works that way. None. Now, until the ship, I was doing everything right? Nothing wrong. That's why the first year you get a 3.8 automatically if you make it through boot camp, A school, and 2-year ship, and the first 3 months in the galley, right? So by March, I'm out the galley, right? I'm there January, February, and March, and right, it's 90 days too, right? You do that from boot camp to A school too. I know. They had me in what's called Snipes Castle in Great Lakes. Maybe you've heard of that. Maybe they changed it around. I don't know. This was 1990, right? This was in Great Lakes, Illinois. Now, I know Christian Fellowship Church may not even have their fellowship center near the base anymore. The pastor got so messed up with the men, right? And maybe some of their children, too, right? See, if they're over 18, okay, Pastor Davis, right? They're adults. That's okay. But you can't do that with a little boy, man. No, I know that. Why? What did I tell you happened? Right. And again, right? I know it's wrong. The problem is, some people can't be told they're making a mistake. No matter what they do, like the officer and the bus driver, they have to be in cahoots 2-1. 2-1. See, I'm in my car or truck alone, right? Going to where I'm supposed to be going, but not going at a fast pace. Why? It's bumper to bumper traffic. Right. I don't have to see the bus driver to know I have to stop when my light turns yellow because I can't complete my turn, right? But I'm still not in her lane yet, right? Or I wasn't assigned. Now they're trying to completely shut me out, including the judges on the damn bench right now. Have you ever heard of such a violation of someone's civil rights? I haven't. And they don't care that I'm a little bit black either, right? And arrogant. But I'm mainly European, right? From the central area, from Ireland all the way down to Italy, right, and Greece, right? I'm kind of centralized in Spain, Italy, Greece, right, France, Germany, right, England, and Irish, right? If I was like the people I'm from, I'd be fighting with them myself too, right? But I'm not. I have to make peace with my enemies and within myself, or I wouldn't be saying that, right? But I can't tell nobody nothing. Nobody wants to listen. They're right. Nobody cares. Why do you think they keep saying that? They don't want me to get the help I need. Which is what? Help cleaning up the house with either a wife or a maid service, right? Which I can't afford because when you go disabled, you can't work, right? Even if you're trying to work for 2 years, right? They don't even want to give me back pay because I didn't really understand, and this could be the schizophrenia itself, right? How it all was to play out, right? That I only had a year. Though the odd thing is, right? You know, when they went through all the paperwork, I was only a few months off from the actual date I had to reapply. I don't know, which is all you can do. If you try to work so long, then you reapply if you can't work within that period, right? Which is what I did, right? Well, I was only maybe a month or two off, right? From that year, I had to file a reopen the case, right? Yet they won't give you even a few months leeway, right? Praise be to the name, Lee. By the way, especially if your name's Shane Edward Lee, right? Might mean more than you think. I know. And my name is also Rub. My name is also Edward. My name is also Lee, right? Why? Right. It's all within my name, right? See, the V, W can be also B, V, or W, right? Why? Because there's two letters in the Hebrew that can be V or D. I mean V or W, right? And one is the bet, right, which could be a V, right, without a dot, right, or with a dot, whichever, right. And then the Vav can be a W or a V as well. Mm-hmm. Now I came up with how you might can say the divine name though, Yahweh, Hu He, which is both. You see the V and the U. Right, Jews? But nobody wants to help me and they know it. Someone's picking on me. Right. Why is everybody always picking on me? Charlie Brown, he's a clown, that's Charlie Brown. Right. That's what they're doing, right? Like the old song from the 60s. I remember that song. And the Peanuts, and all that. Right, why would I forget? Normal things too, right? I remember my childhood, I remember my adulthood, right? But not everything. I feel I'm being purposely not worked with, purposely not trained the whole time I'm on the ship. And then I get paranoia so bad I start hearing voices hoping it's God, right? Whatever it is. But they're talking to me in my head, like with Moses or Elijah even, right? Something that's communicating with me, maybe. Now, I have to be careful myself. It's not God or the devil, which is why Paul and John say, take every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. And Paul said to try the spirits in your head to see if they be of God, for not every spirit is of God, right? Some of the Christians forget that too and become judgmental. King on the mental. That's why they're trying to use my stepdaughter against me. But the only way they can know is if they set it up to a point, right? But they also know if I really did something, I'll be in jail by now, right? But they also know the accusation is enough, right? Simply because I was around the girl, they can accuse me of doing something, but at the time, me and my ex-wife had a fight. She left me stranded in Tennessee on the way to meet her parents, so she met mine, right? I didn't get to meet hers, right? One of us wanted a longer relationship, I think, than the other, huh? Right. If the other one even introduced you to her parents, what do you think would go wrong? Only she knows, because they raised her, not me, right? And she's trying to get her daughter away from her grandma. Right. I don't even know what's going on. And see, with me, and if Sal gets a girlfriend, there's 4 or 5 grandparents right there. Right. You got Daphne and her family, Sal and his family, then me and my family, and then her and her family, right? I don't know what the child would mean, right? If I were to ask her, you should do that. And she was to say grandma, which grandma, right? But you know what I mean. Only someone close to her, right, would even involve me if I'm sleeping on the couch. And then it would seem like entrapment. Because one of us is still where they're supposed to be. That's Shane sleeping on the couch, right? See, Shane could be on the couch, right? But if Amanda comes into Shane, there ain't much Shane can do anyway without waking Mom, right? And I know if Mom wakes up, if she's in there with me, she's gonna freak, right? So my job is to bring her back to Mom, which is all I would tell her. I did anyway, dumbass, right? You wouldn't do no more than that. And my ex-wife knows I didn't do more than that, right? Unless I'm making sure she didn't pee herself or something, or think she has to pee. And even then, that's technically... you have to deal with that a certain way if you don't know what the child's doing in there with you or what to do with her. Now, my ex-wife knows, though, I lick before I stick sometimes, right? Sometimes I don't, right? It depends on the woman, right? But when we had sex in the motel for the first time, like I said, I can hang a little. Though again, if she don't feel like it, I can tell that too. And even if I want something and she don't, I can tell, right? And I'll back off eventually, right? You know what I mean? I'll let her kind of control that too, right? But again, I'm going through different things myself, right? Rejection, confusion, right? Trying to find the right one, right? And the wrong ones. We all got to deal with that. No one has a perfect relationship here. Trust me. Nobody. No one. Nobody cares about me. That's David Lee Roth there. From bowls to bowls, about sit about. Just a gigolo, and everywhere he goes, people know the part he's playing. Which that's an old remake, right? From an older song, right? Ooh, what was they saying? And then I think it was, what's his name who did that? One of the popular guys, Sam something. Maybe he's right, or I don't know. But it was an African American artist, anyway. But like I said, right, I'm not complaining, right? Could be worse, could be better. That's everybody, right? But I do have problems, right? I can't even afford $175 right now. And by next year, well, maybe it'll be a little lower, but I can do it next year, right? Maybe after April or something. I might even get caught up, right? I don't know. Right. But the reason I'm going over martial arts is I'm refreshing myself and sitting at home watching videos and learning more than I did before I joined the Navy. That means I can still learn from my base, which is judo karate, right? And now I'm learning Japanese jiu-jitsu to black belt. So this has white, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, and black. That's called a 7th coup system, right? Meaning there's 7 belts you need from white, to yellow, right? With an introduction, even, right? And then you get your belt, your butt belt. Now, the reason you go over it is this is a slightly different system, or you're seeing if it has similar things to other systems, right? See, if it does, you can critique those and say, well, that's a little similar, that's a little different. Right? Like I found on the Keto video, something George Kirby does with his system involving the nose, right? If you do the nose right, you can hurt them by nothing with their nose, right? If they got you in a headlock or something. Some call it a head chancery, like on here, right? Or a headlock, right? Now, like I said, I'm also going over Marco Ruas videos, right? And he's a UFC fighter, right? From the 90s, right? He did a video series back in 93 to 96, I think, right? And he was one of the top UFC fighters back then, right? That's when it was starting coming out, right? Now, the thing about UFC, though, is if you don't get them when they're going in, they're going to put your ass on the ground. Both late, right? Excuse my French there. Put your butt on the ground. To use a different vernacular or word, right? For what is said, right? Either way, it means the same thing, right? Ass or jackass, or one means a donkey and one means a butt. The muscle or the hole, which can be called the colon exit, right? Medically, right? Or the asshole of an asshole, right? Meaning the man's acting like the dirty bottom of his butt, where crap comes out, or shit, or doo-doo, or number two, right? See, it all means the same thing, Christian. Jesus don't censor words. Who would, though? The enemy. He judges everything you do wrong. Right? You can do no right in Satan's eyes. Do you understand? Who's the God who says we're evil? And who's the God trying to teach us forgiveness of sin, to be forgiven of our sins? Jesus. So we got it backwards again. Satan comes in using self-righteousness. Even his ministers think they're teaching Jesus, but they're really teaching Satan, right? See, Satan has a version of Jesus too, just as he has a version of God, right? And you see some of it in the old myths, right? Now, one of them involves the chief god having to rebel against his father, Kronos, because he was trying to kill him or something, right? Which sounds like a lie of the devil anyway. The father is not the murderer, but maybe the son is. Right. 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 And lying to you about the father, right, and is being promiscuous himself. But if Jesus is with 7 women who cannot have a baby with another man, right, by the way, which means they're barren like Sarah, Hannah, and Samson's mother and father, right? And the angel of the Lord appears to them. 3 appeared, Abraham and Sarah. The Melchizedek appeared first, right? Then the other 3, the other 2 with him, right? Now in front of Peter, James, and John, he became 3 people. Can you do that? No. And it's not Moses and Elijah who are the other 2, right? Who are they, right? Because Moses and Elijah are among the dead. You know, why didn't he call up Isaiah or one of the other prophets? Why those 2? That's the rumor in Malachi. He will send Elijah and a prophet like unto Moses, right? Both. That's part of Jewish idiom. It's like Joshua and Caleb of the 12 spies who were sent into Canaan, right? Only 2 had a good report. The other 10 shot them down. Bang, bang. They shot them down. Bang, bang. They hit the ground, right? Bang, bang, right? My baby shot me down. Right. Don't know who's on that song either, but it's from a movie, so I heard it a long time ago, right? And on the radio. Try to give credit where credit's due. That's all. That's all. Right. But if I was that bad, you don't suddenly get into trouble, right? If you've been staying out of trouble too, right? And it's hard to pin me down, especially when all you can get me on are weird wrecks where the other person has to be doing something wrong too. I know. Like when you're backing up and someone done passed you, they can't back into you and blame you, right? See, the officer can't witness that, right? If both cars are having to back up. I don't know either, but still. No, right? I know my foot stays on the brake slowly, right? And then I put it in drive, right? But the wreck on the vehicle don't fit a normal wreck either unless you're in motion. You understand what I mean? Right? When the person hits you or backs into you. Now, another thing is if someone's inside a, say, the post office, hypothetically, and I'm backing up, it can look like from an angle I could have hit you, but I didn't. I know. If it's the same person, right? I don't know, right? But I do remember having a near miss, right? Is what it's called, right? It could look like if you're inside the post office, I could have hit you, but I didn't do it. But if you found damage, right? If it's minor damage, there's no way I hit you. I would have hit you the full back hit, right? Unless I stopped in time and it's at an angle, right? And you assumed I hit you, right? And that's gonna mess with both our insurance because you can't prove I hit you, right? See, there should be certain things, even stop signs reason. If you can stop 2 car lengths behind the stop sign and you're coming to the stop sign and are still behind the trees, you can still see. Yes, right. I'm just stopped 1 car length behind the stop sign, right? And I stopped, right? Still, the trees, he might not have saw me if he's 1,000 feet away, which is 3 football fields, right? Over. Plus 100 feet. Because they're 100 yards, which is 300 feet, right? He was 3 football fields away when I pulled out, right? From the stop sign, right? Stopping 1 car length in front of it, right? Not knowing the car was a police officer either, Lincoln. Did I stop? Yeah, car length behind the stop sign. Where I could see him, but he couldn't see I was fully stopped. And then I punched it, not knowing that was a police officer. Right. And then he pulled me over after I punched it, right? But you can stop at least 2 car lengths behind that stop sign before Lisa Road or Lisa Drive or whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever. Get over it. I stopped. I was in the clear for me, but not you, and you tried to give me a ticket anyway. And made my insurance mess up, right? That's civil too, right? It's not criminal if I stop, right? Even if it was a car length behind the stop sign and I could still see it when I stopped. And you can't prove I didn't, right? But I can prove I did, right? Stop, right? Anyone can at that stop sign, right? At the same way I did, right? It still don't mean you didn't fully stop, right? That's the difference too. Did I fully stop? Yeah, I know too. But I also stopped where I could see out, but they might not could have seen me further down the road. Right? Now, my main concern is right, which is what I told them to do. I looked right and then left and saw the officer was about over 1,000 feet away and punched it from where I was at, from my vantage point, right? Which gave me more vantage point than him. Now, I didn't know it was a police officer, like I said, but that don't mean I didn't fully stop, right? Either. What's 8 feet? Or a car leaves, or 9 or 10, right? If you can see, right, and you stop in front of the stop sign, does it say how far you have to be as long as you stop, right? No. I did that with Garden City once. The stop sign is a way back. I gunned it with a damn Mustang, of course. A 5-speed. Then we're going to come to Key, which is a 6-speed. Never drove 6-speed before, right? And then we're going to come to the truck. Then we're going to come to the crazy people in the nail salon, right? Who banned me because I don't know what happened during an extra hour I was in their store the first time I went in, right? Never had that happen before either. Though I'm looking for a girlfriend, Asian or not, right? Though I have had a dream of an Asian girl. But guess what? It can't be every Asian girl, right? And I don't know which one it would be. And like all men, I know I gotta wait for the right woman to come along, right? Ladies, I'm available, but you gotta come to me one at a time and stay with me. Not leave. Leave either. And that's the point. You're blaming past mistakes, as am I. I know. Right? Have a good day.